Family, man, we're in Galatians chapter 3, starting in verse 3. We went through the beginning, O foolish Galatians, in verse 1, who had bewitched that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus has been in evidence set forth, crucified among you. This one, verse 2, this one would I learn of you. Did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? And then verse 3 goes on to say this, oh, you so foolish, having begun in the Spirit? Are you now made perfect by the flesh? What is he talking about? He's saying this. He said, when I came to you, I preached the gospel of Jesus Christ. You received the gospel. All of you got saved. You got born again. And the Spirit of God started working in your life, in your family's life, and in the church's life, in the churches of Galatia. But they had switched it from just trusting in that same simple faith that they had put into Jesus. Now they were trying to sanctify themselves. In other words, make themselves perfect in their own abilities, their own wants, their own needs, and their own flesh. In other words, they had got to a spiritual maturity, a spiritual level, and said, well, we don't need faith anymore. We can handle it. We can do this on our own. And that's why he says, are you so foolish, having begun in the Spirit? You have begun something because you placed your faith in Christ in that finished work of the cross. But now you're trying to transfer that faith into yourself. You're so spiritual, so when people come into your congregation or come into your life, you're showing them how spiritual you are, but you're not telling them how that they can be spiritual also, that you're hovering your spirituality upon them. In other words, you're spiritual, they're not. You're holy, they're not. You are righteous, but they're not. And that's not what Paul's trying to say. He said, man, you're trying to go back and revert to the work of the law, meaning that I look good, I smell good, I act good, I am good, so that makes me righteous. Yeah, I have faith in Christ because I know he's the only one for salvation. But you need to keep the law. You need to keep all these ordinances. And man, I'm better than him. In other words, man, I go to church, I pay my tithes, I do the right things, and I'm better than my brother who comes in and he's always seems to be weak and tough and going through struggles and trials and tribulations and going through things. So I'm more spiritual than him, and I have to show him how spiritual I am by what I do, instead of just telling him that the way you got out of your struggles is through Jesus and faith in that complete work. And that's what Paul is trying to say here. And he said, man, the Galatians were practicing salvation by faith, but sanctification by self. In other words, being by my self-effort, my will, my good works, my attitude, my learning skills, the things that I do, I'm being sanctified or set apart for God's use by what I do, not by what I believe. And man, that's a lot of the church's problems today and a lot of our problems. You know, we keep our faith in Jesus Christ for salvation, but yet we take our faith back when we try to perform on our own. We try to live this life on our own, and that's not of God. We can't live this life on our own, folks. Don't cast Jesus aside when you get saved. No, pick up the cross and follow him daily. In other words, deny yourself. In other words, I am not going to follow my own self-effort and my own self-will. Man, I can't do that. I've begun in the faith and I'm going to finish in the faith. Placing my faith every single day in what Christ has done for me. Man, I can have an awesome and wonderful day, and sin shall not have dominion over me today, and I can walk because of what he did. My faith is in him, not in what I can do. Because boy, if I try to do something on my own, I will blow it. So I hope that helps you today. Man, just keep your faith in Christ. Keep it there. Keep it simple. And I'll tell you what, God's going to honor that every single time, because you're justified by faith, not by what you do or your works. Well, we love you. Man, I want you to ride safe, ride free. Most of all, I want you to ride for Christ's sake. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.